Hi everybody, this is Victor from Spoken Learning. Welcome to another session. Today we're going to continue our series about the history of the Spanish language, and we are going to go with a very small part because the next part it's a bigger one. We're going to talk about different changes in the Spanish language, but right now it's just a small step that we need to cover, and that will be pretty much it. But before that, allow me to remind you that in Spoken Learning we provide private Spanish lessons for children and adults, even if you don't know any Spanish at all, but also if you already have some experience and you want to take your skills to the next level. This is because we are not tutors, we are professional teachers. We tailor your classes individually. We adapt to your interests the best way possible so you can actually get the best experience for the Spanish language. And that will be pretty much it. Allow me to start with the lesson. So I was saying that Spanish language part 7. Okay, so Spanish language part 7. Here we have it. Durante el siglo XVI y XVII se empezó a considerar al español como la más bella de las lenguas romances y sucesor natural del latín. En universidades comenzó a tomar más relevancia cada vez. During the 16th and 20th and 17th century, it started to be considered Spanish as the most beautiful of the Romance languages and natural successor of Latin. So in many universities, it started to become the more relevant one, and they took in consideration for even books. Even books were created already in Spanish for this time, and with specific, actual topics, very, very important topics, and scientific topics as well. It was during this time uh, when the Spanish Empire started to conquer American and Asian continent, and with it, many new accents and variations were created. We can see all the parts that the Spanish Empire covered during this time. So yeah, it was very big. This is when the Spanish Empire became recognized, and Spanish was also recognized as one of the major language around the world. This is Spanish nowadays. Doesn't mean that it's spoken like no, but there is a lot of people that speaks Spanish all around the world in all the regions. Obviously, in some places more than others, but yeah, it's like the major of the places that you can find Spanish, and this is when it became more prominent since it was like the official language for an entire empire. And from here, several accents were created. Latino accent, Caribbean accent, Rio Platense accent, and of course, Iberian accent that already existed some way, and some people were already considered important. Why was this happening like this? Well, the king and the queen were considering to expand their empire already, and what they did was to say, okay, well, how are we going to unify an empire like so large? And they said, well, religion is there, and of course they use religion to expand their territory and influence. But what was even stronger than the religion? The language. So they decided to every place that they conquered, they will force Spanish to become the official language, and that's why places so far away like the Philippines or Guinea Equatorial in Africa, or places like that have or have had for the Philippines and have for the Guinea Equatorial Spanish as the official language. It was like that for many years for Philippines as well, but um, for the Guinea Equatorial is still a thing in Africa, in Asia, in many places. So that's pretty much it. Why it happened, because they were expanding the empire, and they wanted to have one thing in common to um to have as the main cohesive thing. And you know that many other empires did not do the same. They allowed everybody to continue with their own language and their own culture and their own whatever. And it's not that it's bad. Obviously, it's a positive thing to do, but they did it like that allowed to the cultures that were instead inside their empires to not to be mixed like with the rest of the people. Kind of that's the idea. But the Spanish Empire did not want to face those kind of problems, so they say everybody's going to speak Spanish in this empire. So they spread it, and that's why we have several accents nowadays. And that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for your attention. Thank you for your attention today. I hope that you find this topic interesting. And as I already said, next session we're going to start talking about what those words that came from American languages, Native American languages, and became part of the Spanish Empire, and also now are used in the regular Spanish words. We're going to learn a lot from that, and that will be it for my part. Thank you so much for your attention. Remember that in Spoken Learning we provide private Spanish lessons for children and adults, even if you don't know any Spanish at all, or if you already have some skills and you want to take them to the next level. We tailor every individual class. We do our best to match to your interest. We have several techniques, different ones. We are making a great effort to change the experience with languages here in Spoken Learning. So if you want to enroll, don't forget that you can call 413 through 832 413 3166 in order to enroll. And I will see you next time.